Bleed for this stars Miles Teller. It's world champion boxer Vinny Paziana. If I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry, okay? That's a very hard name to pronounce. I'm sorry. The guy was a very popular boxer in the 70s, 80s. He gets into a very fatal car accident that basically almost takes his life. He might lose the ability to walk and fight, but he's like, hell no, I'm going to continue fighting. I'm going to get back into form and get ready to fight. I was pumped out of my mind for this movie. I'm a big boxing film fanatic, and I love Miles Teller a lot. I think he's a fantastic actor. Yes, he hasn't really been in the best movies lately, but he's a talented actor. I mean, if you guys have seen Whiplash, The Spectacular Now, or this year's War Dogs, you can see that the guy has a lot of potential as an actor, and I was looking forward to this movie. The trailers looked good. I liked most of the actors in the movie, and I gotta say that the movie was just whatever. It was okay. It was definitely better than that boxing movie we had a few months ago called Hands of Stone, which I thought wasn't really that strong. This one was just whatever. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It wasn't terrible, and it wasn't great. But what I will say was good, and the best thing about this movie is easily Miles Teller's performance. I thought he was terrific in this movie. The accent that he had was actually really superb. He got really physically fit for this role, which is what I call dedication. His mustache was basically on point with Vinny's, and his acting was really good. His chemistry with Aaron Eckhart, who I also thought was very good in the movie, was really superb. And that's really all I could say. Like, the acting is, like, the only strong thing about this movie. But like I said, this is not a terrible movie. The thing that makes this movie not great, first of all, the characters are really flat. There's, like, no layers to any of them except for Vinny. And everything around him is just whatever. It's just average. Like, it's not really that compelling. This isn't a Bourne film by any means, but it's like, there's no emotional layers behind any of them, especially his family. Like, I didn't really feel for his mom, who is played by the always great Katey Sagal. His father, I just wasn't compelled by these characters. Luckily, the performances helped save the movie from being as bad as it could have been. The writing was eh. The dialogue wasn't really that strong. The direction was whatever. It was fine. Ben Younger's the guy's name. I didn't really have many feelings towards this movie. And that's a shame because I was really looking forward to this movie because I love Miles Teller a lot. And this would have been his, like, a great comeback performance for him. And he's fantastic in the movie. But the movie around him just isn't really that great. The boxing sequences, I didn't think were all well done. They weren't really that memorable either, and that's the sad thing. Whenever you go into a boxing movie, you want to remember these boxing sequences, and these just weren't memorable. I mean, the ending one I slightly remember, but at the same time, I really don't. The editing, the movie's like, I have no idea how long the movie was. I wasn't bored. It didn't go fast, but it wasn't slow. It was average paced, which was a fine thing. But the biggest problem is the story. It's so basic, and when it's over, you're just like, okay, goodbye. But in all seriousness, this movie should have been something engaging and engrossing and really heart-gripping, but instead it just was a typical boxing movie that didn't have a lot of layers to it, and that's sad because we've had a good comeback for boxing movies lately. We had The Fighter, we had Southpaw, we had Creed. This year's Hands of Stone just wasn't really that good, and I thought this was going to be a very good movie. And like I said, it's not a bad movie, it's just not as well done as I thought it would be. And also, the sad thing is, like, you guys know how in biopics they say stuff about the real-life person or the people in the movie, like saying, oh, what has happened to them after the events of the movie? They don't say anything. The movie just ends, and that's it. That's it. Okay, alright, whatever. But overall, Bleed for this was just an okay film. It wasn't as good as it could have been. It could have been great, but instead it just didn't really have any layers to it. Miles Teller and Aaron Eckhart were both fantastic in the movie. The boxing sequences weren't really well done. Sure, you care about some of the characters, but for the most part, you really don't. The story just wasn't as strong as it could have been, and that's why I'm going to give Bleed for this a C+. Guys, tell me what you thought of this movie. If you saw it, thank you so much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys soon.